Hey guys, okay, it's Tor here at Co-Kinetic. I wanted to just record this video because I think one of the things that I want people to feel confident about when they become an affiliate or are thinking, considering about promoting the Co-Kinetic resources to therapists in their audiences. I think it's really important to be authentic about this and for me to be very transparent about how this all works. Now, hopefully, if you've already come across the Co-Kinetic stuff, which I'm assuming you probably have, you will know that I'm a very unsalesy kind of person. What I'm trying to do is make people aware of the resources that we've got and then and show them how they can be used. And if they then decide that that's a good idea, then hopefully they will subscribe. And the only salesy thing that I really do is to offer to add that branding upgrade for free if they sign up off the back of, for example, a webinar. So what I wanted to talk you through is just how when I get a new lead in, so like a new email address, how that actually kind of works at my end. So for example, say somebody registers to watch the coronavirus webinar. So this is what would happen. So I have a series of workflows. I use a piece of software called Drip. And when somebody signs up to anything from anywhere, whether it's on Facebook through a Facebook ad or wherever through you, if they fill out any form either on my site or anywhere, then they would come into this Drip software. And I use this software to basically manage what I send people. And in the past, I haven't always got this completely right, and it was a bit messy, but I've got it pretty much sus now. So if they, for example, they signed up to the coronavirus webinar, for example, they would get added, this little tag would be added to them as soon as they register for that webinar. And what they would do is they would be taken through this workflow. Now, I have sort of three primary marketing funnels, what I call marketing funnels. So one is if somebody doesn't know anything about us. The second one is if somebody has asked for specific information about our products, because I don't send people that information unless they specifically ask for it. So that's another really important thing for me just to point out. And the third one is if somebody's taken kind of like a significant action, like they've checked for a marketing license in their area, or it has to be something sort of quite significant that they've taken action with. And I have three different funnels that people work their way through depending on where they are at that entry point. So, for example, this is my primary funnel here. I call it my nurture, my first marketing funnel. And this is where everyone goes if they become a new email subscriber. And so there's a delay in there because they've probably signed up for some reason and I don't want to bombard them with stuff, so they will probably get an email for whatever they've signed up to. And then I take them through, I apply this tag so that I know that they're in there, and I apply currently being promoted to, and then I go through one by one a sequence of things. So the first step in this is if they haven't already been told about the webinar and they haven't registered for it, then that first email goes out saying, we've got a coronavirus webinar, and then I record that I've sent that email to them. And then the next level is, have they been told about the 80/20 webinar that I run? And if that's the case and they haven't registered for it, then they get an email about that 80/20 webinar, and so on. And so it goes sort of through various different things, just trying to give people sort of awareness. There's articles in there, there's free downloads, there's all sorts of things. But each time I always say that they make sure that they haven't already received that, so that there's no kind of replication and they're not getting the same material. And these are all nurture based, so they're all about adding value. None of them are about selling. At the bottom of these emails, I will sometimes put a PS, which says, if you want more information about our patient leaflets, blah, 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 click on this link. And if they do that, then that would move them into the second funnel that I talked about earlier. So that second funnel then gives them the specific information that they've asked for. So it's all very targeted, and at no point am I doing any sales pitches. So I rely really predominantly on my webinars as a way of kind of telling people what I've got and how it can help them. So that is my kind of goal. And so as you can see, that would be a normal route that somebody would take if they just signed up, for example, to an email, or they registered an account on the Co-Kinetic site, for example, but didn't actually subscribe to anything. This would be the kind of normal route that they would take. But if they then sign up to something specific, so for example the coronavirus webinar, then they are then taken out of those funnels, because I don't want them to be sent multiple emails at the same time. So I take them out of those three funnels, and then I put them into this new funnel. And so then they go through that sequence, and in this case, there's not very much. It's a bit of a, this is what we'll cover. And if for any reason they missed it, then it sends a replay link. But each time I'm checking that they're not tagged with any of these things that say they've already watched it or anything. So people are only receiving information that is very specific and relevant to them. And then if they left it early, for example, there's a different email about that. And then I take them out of that workflow and I put them back into the workflow that they came out of. So if they were tagged with that original workflow, it puts them back in there. And because of the way I've structured it, it won't resend them anything if they've already been through it. So if they haven't already received those emails, or they haven't been pitched those events, then they won't, or if they have been, sorry, they won't be sent it again. So I'm being very careful about how the whole kind of thing works. So that's kind of what I wanted to explain, what was going on in the background. So, if you're taking effort, for example, to send me leads and contacts of people and they sign up to anything, then I want you to kind of feel comfortable that you know that they're not going to be peppered with sales pitches and all that nasty stuff that unfortunately quite a lot of marketing people do tend to do. But I hope that you know by now, enough about me to know that that's not my style. And it's in fact completely opposite to what I like to do. And it's really literally just about trying to take people through a sequence of events that lead them somewhere where they can realise what I've got to offer, and if they find it useful, then they sign up. So on the subject of the affiliate program, obviously if you send somebody in and you are the first person that, and it causes them a reason to give me their email address, whether it's to sign up to a webinar or register an account or whatever it happens to be, and you are that point of contact, then that cookie or that credit to you for that person that's just come onto my site stays alive for 12 months. So even if they go away and they come back 6 months later and they go, actually, that was actually quite good and I think it might be relevant now, that will still be tagged to you. So it doesn't matter any time in those 12 months. So if the affiliate system takes a little bit of time, it grows with momentum. Obviously, the more people you put in, the more people are seeing the different messages that I'm sending out. They might not respond to the first 2 webinars, but they might respond to a 3rd webinar that I do a bit further down the line. So there's, that will gather kind of a head of steam, I guess. So I just wanted to explain really that the people that you send to me won't be peppered with emails, and it will all be about adding value. Every email that they receive will be about adding value, and they can get out at any time by unsubscribing to any of the emails. So it's all very genuine, and I hope that was helpful as an explanation. All right, cheers guys.